Yo, you know that there's more people nowadays that are trying to unironically make the argument that Anakin Skywalker is a Mary Sue.
I mean,
like the guy that actually has such a great downfall that he falls into lava and almost dies. I guess. Yeah. I understand when he was a kid he was strong. I get that. Like he did a what's that line? He did a flip. Those are always fun. And then he won the pod race and whatever. I get it. But he also like completely destroyed his life because she completely BTFO'd him constantly.
Some people do use Mary Sue as more of a character that the plot revolves around unnecessarily, even if they're like a tragic character. And making Anakin like a Virgins of the Force and like a virgin birth.
Yeah,
it's pretty Mary Sue-y, but he is a very
I wish there was
flawed character.
I wish there was another term for it.
Yeah.
What about like an orbital character, like where everything orbits around them, you know?
But in terms of characters,
like Goku's one of those characters.
The original prequels, I mean, he's a character in Phantom Menace, but he's a little kid and he barely does anything. And then in 2 and 3, like he's there's a duo main character with what's his face, Obi-Wan. So I don't think the plot revolves around him. I don't think he's a Mary Sue in that way. In terms of backstory, he's a Mary Sue, but that's it in my opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, that's also saying Lucas.
But George Lucas
wasn't dumb sometimes.
He was dumb and like treated Anakin like literally Jesus. It's like, why did Anakin have to be born from a virgin?
Pretty weird, yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't understand that part. Ooh. I do know one thing. If I do choose Enslaved as the next game I'm doing, I'm definitely playing it on the 360. Because PS3 sucks. I literally cannot believe Sony's where it is now with how awful the PS3 was. In terms of it couldn't run anything well, and the 360 mocked it in almost every way possible, except for maybe JRPGs. Even doing,
What?
What, did you not hit the left?
That was weird. That was weird. What am I
doing? You gotta have faith. Hi, Tifa.
Focusing.
Yeah, it seems like there's just a lot you gotta do real quick. Your limit bars go up so fast. Is this a multiple parter? Yeah, okay.
Alright. So this next part, Scarlet has those drill arms, but the drill arms are incredibly resistant to magic, and until you destroy both of them, she does basically no damage to magic for whatever dumb reason. And what I'm going to be doing is that I use Lemon Siphon with Aerith, and I have the Enhanced Expeditionary Medal on her, so she can use... But I'm going to use the second one, which is called Planet's Protection, which grants you, like, invulnerability to everything for, like, a minute. It is really OP. Rising Fury, probably will never use, but it gives everyone their full limit breaks, which is really good for a long fight, but because everyone's still at level 1 limit break, it's actually not that great.
Including Eris or not including Eris?
Not including Eris, but you can just keep cycling limit siphon, so it's pretty broken.
Okay.
Dang it.
Nice.
First one.
I'll try a dive kick. That always works.
That's a good trick.
That's a good trick. Seriously. And time.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, the pressure just went up to like 80%.
That fight is really annoying if you don't do a strat I just did. I think you could potentially do that fight a lot faster because Eris had the metal on. She didn't have the Genji glove, so she was only doing 9,999 instead of like 40k or whatever. But time for 10 hours of cutscenes.
Literally. Tifa-san! Cloud-san!
You okay?
Yeah, this plot device just fell between us.
Don't let that hag get her grubby mitts on my
Whoa! Don't call my wife a hag.
Scarlet's probably like 30.
She's 40.
Oh, she's... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess for a literal 16-year-old, anyone
Yeah.
over 25 is a literal hag. Stop her, Tifa-kun. I like how in story you give the grappling hook back to Cisne. I was like, oh, this will be fun. This will be something we can use in other parts, and then you just hand it back, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I guess it's because it would break the rest of the game.
Kind of. I wish they would, like, rework the open world areas that, like, if you have the grappling hook and make, like, Gungaga less of a hell nightmare.
Yeah.
Because Spencer just finished the Gungaga World Intel stuff. But
I just had to look up, like, a third of it.
It's
how
like,
to get
it's
to it.
so annoying.
The gimmick, as you saw when he was coming in, is you use the chocobos to jump off of mushrooms, but the mushrooms are very specific. And if you get on the wrong mushroom, it'll take you like 2-3 minutes to get back to the right
And
mushroom.
it's extra frustrating because a lot of the ledges are like just like 2 feet out of like Cloud's reach, just like, you know, like literally grab with his hands. But instead you have to like go across like the map and like do like 3 or 4 different like mushroom jumps. It sucks. Hello, Sephiroth Sama.
You know what they could have done? Kind of like a Metroidvania game. Oh my! I don't even remember that. Or a Metroid game is they could have done it when you get something like the grappling hook. Then you could have went back to like the grasslands area in Junon and like located a couple extra things. That'd be pretty cool. But they didn't. Bye.
Yeah, you've already gotten to this, but there's black whispers and white whispers now.
White good, black bad.
Thank you, Japan. The white whispers actually...
Teen!
The white whispers aren't necessarily good because they're the planet whispers, and they will mess with you if you go against like the planet's will. But they're definitely better than the black whispers, which are... well, I won't spoil it. Spencer might have guessed what it is.
Sephiroth-kun. Cloud does get wrecked in this game.
Cloud, don't let her fool you.
He gets ultra BTF on this.
She has no scar. I have no scar. She is not. You're not Tifa. You can't be.
We've been over this. I do have a scar. I showed you, remember?
Liar.
Liar! There we go!
Literally Anakin moment.
Yes!
Liar!
All right, look.
Whoa.
Doesn't she, like, her midriff is constantly showing anyway. So what, she has to reach it up 2 inches higher? I couldn't possibly show you this thing slightly above my midriff.
Don't do this.
Tifa, just punch him out.
Why do the devs hate Aerith so much and make Tifa main girl?
Play the game.
I mean, I'm still doing
Yeah.
it. I'm trying.
Right now,
I'll play more tonight.
in terms of the Cloud Bowl, Tifa is in a far distant second. Of course, Yuffie is at first.
Of course. Actually, Scarlet's first.
I wish. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, do it. Just swim.
I was under the impression that bathing in pure Mako was extremely, extremely bad for you, but I guess it's fine.
For you. Oh no, it would be extremely painful.
But I guess Cloud, what happened with him is that he fell directly into the live stream, not a pool of Mako. And also his mind broke at the same time.
Yeah, so they've never specifically said it, but I look at Mako like kind of like radiation. Like that's kind of what they're going for, right? And it's like, I guess if you were in water that had 1% radiation, you'd be like, oh, I'm probably gonna get sick. It's like, but it's like Cloud fell into Chernobyl and like touched the elephant's foot. You know what I mean? Like that's like the difference to me.
But Tifa really does not suffer any any drawbacks to this. So maybe like you have to ingest Mako. Like Mako's infused with all the soldiers, and that partially causes the degradation, and also the Sephiroth or the Genova cells also do it.
Whoa.
I'd really like to get past that scene and call it apart.
That's fine.
I just don't want to start with this next time.
That means I'm still ahead of you somehow. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be ahead of you soon.
Well, once that happens, I'll just, we'll play more Rock Band or do less tries.
I'm trying so hard. I guess I could just blow through the story, but I don't want to.
So the thing is that you only have Nibelheim left, and Nibelheim's World Intel stuff is the quickest by far. It's the smallest area and also has the best Chocobo and quickest Chocobo ability.
I probably spent 30 minutes yesterday on that, in Cosmo Canyon, the obstacle course for the Chocobo, getting the rank 3.
Oh yeah, I literally had to look that up. Because there's that time when you at the very end when you propel up, and what you're supposed to do is like get a couple of the rings and then go back, do a 180.
Oh, I haven't done the third one yet. I've only done the second.
You should definitely just look up a video for the third one, because it's like it is so unintuitive.
Believe it or not, that's actually the next thing that I'm gonna do, like in the game. I'm saved up right at it.
But yeah, there's a point where you have to do like a 180. You have to like launch yourself up in the air, get a couple of the rings, and then do a 180, and then go back to the propelling. And that's the only way to get all the rings.
Yeah, I was hoping that to get the rank 3, you didn't have to get every single one, but you do.
You do.
I also still don't quite understand this part. Like, so he's like, these things are like mini weapons.
Yeah, there's some sort of weapon. I don't think they're the weapons. I mean, I sure hope not. But in the original game, we'll see what Part 3 does, but in the original game, Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, and Ultima don't wake up until Cloud gives Sephiroth the Black Materia in the Northern Crater. So I'm still hoping that all those weapons still exist, but these are just like sub-weapons. I don't know. And this is pretty interesting because they're kind of like repurposing the Lifestream moment where Tifa like fixes Cloud's mind,
right?
But they're doing it now.
Right.
So if they do it again in Part 3, I think they're just not going to. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Right. I was like, oh, this is early.
This is clearly them just repurposing it.
This is exactly what happens, yeah. Except for Cloud's not there. But she's talking about Cloud.
Yeah. But you don't get the reveal of Cloud equals Zack. Spoilers! That
it's
doesn't
all
happen.
over.
Then I'm coming with you, Tifa. Me too.
Yeah, let me come with you, Tifa.
Here we come. Okay, then. Thanks, you guys.
I like Cloud's hair better when he's a kid.
Think Cloud
It's more
wants to
based.
come too? Cloud?
That dumb dork.
Come on, let's go.
To be fair, kids are ridiculously mean to each other.
Yeah. Like, I kind of hold it against Tifa, but also at the same time, she's just a kid with a bunch of other boys around her. I get it. It still sucks. I think Cloud's, like, childhood is awful.
Yeah. Well, even with, like, Ferris, because he's 11 now, and, like, he'll tell me something like, oh, there's this girl, and we call her Braceface or whatever, and I'm like, don't do that. And then he'll have to be like, oh, wait, but she calls herself that as well, and she laughs at it, and I'm like, just be careful, because maybe she's not laughing at it. Like, maybe she's pretending. You know what I mean? And he's not being, like, ridiculously mean, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, all right, bud, here's where I talk to you about how people can say things and not mean it.
Yeah, she's probably making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. And I'm like...
You should give Ferris, like, ridiculous braces now.
Whatever, anything he makes, he even is part of making fun of. It's like someone breaks their leg and it's like, oh, cast boy. It's like, all right, come here first.
It just reminds me of how, like, the ridiculous braces I had as a kid. I had that weird thing called a Herbst appliance that, like, fixed my, like, jaw. And, like, my mouth was just, like, pure metal for, like, 4 years.
I don't know how it is for kids, but with those Invisalign, it is just night and day different.
Yeah. I just had so much crap in my mouth.
I guess the only bad thing is Ashley still wears her Invisalign, and what, like, I guess has to do it for life, but only at night. I guess.
I guess that's the drawback to it being way less annoying.
Right. And it doesn't seem like a big deal because you just put it in at night, and quite frankly, she forgets a lot, and her teeth are still, they look fine to me, but it is a huge difference between, hey, we're putting all this metal in here, and also rubber bands and everything. But anyway, yeah, kids can be super duper mean. So
They're the most mean sometimes.
I think sometimes they realize it and sometimes they don't. And that's why it's like the worst for it.
And the worst thing is that kids feel like they have to join in with, like, bullying to, like, fit in. So there's always just, like, one or two, like, outcasts that are, like, necessary for everyone else to get along. It's really weird.
Yeah.
How, like, human psychology works at such a young age.
It's almost like you have to have a common enemy, even though they're not an enemy or whatever. It's weird. So it didn't seem like at any point just go back to this story, that at any point when they were younger that Tifa was like, specifically like, oh, Cloud sucks, I don't like him.
Yeah,
but she never went out of her way to be like, stop, don't say that about Cloud.
She just never understood Cloud. And I don't know if you heard the line yet, but Tifa literally says to Cloud, I thought you liked being alone. And that's just like a fundamental misunderstanding of Cloud as a person.
Yeah.
He was just really shy. But he definitely wanted to hang out with Tifa.
I mean, to be fair, there are people that just like being alone.
Yeah.
I feel like if they could have just, she could have just asked.
Stay strong, Tifa.
Is that Zang guy? I forget it. I always forget his name. It's not Zangief.
You'll make it.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like her master.
Zangief. That's it.
Zangief.
You have to want it. Fight for it. Hard as you can.
I'm 37 years old.
You can't.
That's Zangief.
Too many skills.
Yeah.
I've been all around the world.
That doctor was 27.
We gotta finish the fight. Remember that? Remember Halo 3?
Still finishing the fight to this day.
Yo, I made so many people mad back in the day, like around the Halo 2, Halo 3 time, by just saying, I need a weapon. People would get so mad. Because that's the only thing I ever knew Master Chief ever said in Halo 1 or 2. Because I guess it was in like the promotional material or whatever.
Yeah. That's like the first thing one of the first things he said when he wakes up in 1. It's funny because we had Halo on 1 and 2 as kids. I kind of like those games.
Yeah, they're alright.
Never had 3 though.
We were not 360 chads.
Chuds.
360 chuddies. And just think about it. People, when Halo Reach came out, they were like, oh, I don't know, this is kind of mid. Do you think those same fans would go back now and be like, oh my god, Halo Reach, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, Halo Reach.
Can we talk about how 343 Industries is the worst game developer ever?
Yo,
In
so
the
they
history-
they shut down Tango and they didn't shut down 343?
They just have too many, they just can't. They've wasted so many resources on that.
Do you ever watch the Big Boss video on
Yeah.
the Fall of Halo? It's so good.
It's just amazing that 343 has continually, every single game and project they've ever done has messed up everything since they first existed.
I think the worst one of all is how Master Chief Collection came out, and for like legit, not 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 2 months, for literally 2 years was unplayable. That blows me away.
It's like 2 or 3 years.
That's insanity.
And it's just...
It's not even acceptable if it's 2 months, but literally the game is unplayable for 2 years. Unacceptable. Not even close to acceptable. Do you think Phil Spencer is a Sony Chad just sent in to destroy Xbox?
It definitely seems like it. I mean, he just makes the worst decisions.
I saw people the other day looking back kindly to remember Don Matrick, the guy who was in the head of the Xbox One. He's the skinny guy with like kind of the big nose and the Beatles haircut.
Yeah.
And they were like, things were better under Don Matrick, and it's like, wow, you know it's really bad if they're like, bring him back, bring him back. Oh, you mean the guy who wanted the Kinect to watch you at all times and be necessary to play?
Yeah, Don Matrick is like still the killer of the Xbox as a brand. The reveal of the Xbox One and its ramifications are still felt to this day.
I mean, Phil Spencer is seemingly stupid as crap, but Don Matrick was definitely the one who was like, hey, remember this thing that everyone loves in the 360? Let's not do that. So yeah.
It's awesome.
Even the first couple years of Xbox One games, people look back on that. I've seen people look back on it fondly. They're like, remember all the great games that first couple years of Xbox One? I'm like, what? Rise, Son of Rome, Dead Rising 3, the Kinect games. I guess Sunset Overdrive is pretty good.
Here's fine.
But like, what else? Gears of War Ultimate Edition? Like, name one besides maybe Sunset Overdrive.
It's pretty funny that Insomniac went on. They made Sunset Overdrive for Xbox, and then for PlayStation, they made Spider-Man.
Oh my god, it's true.
Talk about getting mugged. Spider-Man sold like 20 million copies. Sunset Overdrive probably sold like 1 million.
Oh, but let's be fair. Let's be fair. I am complaining about the games that came out for Xbox One, the exclusives, but at least they had them, right? Like, yes, they were pretty mid. Like, no one's like, oh, Dead Rising 3 was so amazing. But guess what? Dead Rising 3 is better than nothing. I mean, the absence of video games.
I had my suspicions.
It's amazing. We're going to be to a point where there's only going to be 2 video game systems, and that sucks. I don't like it. The more choices, the better.
Phil Spencer in the past, like, year or two has said something like, good or exclusives don't sell systems. And it's like, how do you even know that? The Xbox is in the gutter and it isn't selling at all. And you don't have exclusives. How are you so confident about that?
I mean...
And, like, all the later Xbox One generation exclusives were, like, just trash. There's no way that they looked at, like, Crackdown 3, and it's 50 Metacritic score.
There's only a couple...
And been like, no, exclusives don't sell systems. It's like, no, crappy games don't sell systems.
I mean, 360 didn't, as a machine, didn't have anything going for it besides exclusive games. Right? Like, it wasn't a Blu-ray player.
For the first couple of years, it definitely had the thing going for it that it wasn't the PS3 or the Wii.
Well, yeah,
it was like the default console until the PS3 finally unscrewed itself.
I mean, the PS2 sold 120 million partly because it was a DVD player, but eventually it got to the point where people were like, "Oh, there's a million games for this. I'm picking up a PS2." You know. So I would disagree. I even think you could look at the Wii and say people picked it up because it was something new. But it also technically had exclusive games, even if you count Wii Sports as an exclusive game. It still counts, you know? So I disagree with his thought that somehow exclusive games don't sell systems. I don't get that. I mean, people bought PS4s despite the exclusive games being... not always great.
Yeah, the PS4, like, 2013, 2014 were trash. I'm gonna pick up the PS4 for Knack and Killzone, said nobody.
What else came out early on?
It's like nothing.
All the games that were on both gens, like Evil with like games that I like Evil Within, but it's like I'm gonna pick up the PS4 copy of this because it's slightly better than the PS3. No.
Oh, those rascals.
Yuffie!
Oh, Tifa doesn't have her gloves on. I was like, what? I was wondering why it looked so weird for a second.
Little old me.
That's right. What eat?
Sorry.
What did she say?
Cloud's fine. I don't know.
Yeah. Back off, B.
Yeah.
Literally. And Cloud's like, ooh, woo, I don't know who to pick.
He's even worse than that. He's just like, I'm a aloof, cool guy. I don't want either of you. Screw you, Cloud!
At least he doesn't want anyone. It would be worse if he was like, I want this random girl who doesn't care for me.
Cisne, my beloved.
And any idea who was winning?
Dude,
Could you tell?
there's a side quest where you have to help Cisne cook, and she is not a great cook. Like, you walk into her kitchen and there's like black smoke everywhere. I'm like, no one is this bad of a cook.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Girls being bad at cooking is my least favorite, like, Japanese, like, trope for humor. It is so unfunny.
Oh, yeah, that is a thing, isn't it?
It happens all the time. Like, every, like... It's just like in everything. Like, I just played, like, Persona 4, like, last year, and there's another character... There's, like, multiple characters in the party that are like, lol, I'm a bad cook, please laugh. No, it's not funny.
I mean, that just has to be something with the, with the country itself, I guess. I guess it's funny. But also, Japan thought it was... I think it was Japan. I don't think it was Korea. Thought it was funny to keep a guy locked in a room for 12 months and then make it a reality show, so... or was it 18 months? I forget. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So they have different ideas.
Since time immemorial, it has been
Maybe the joke is because they're much more like.
The problem with Japanese media, and I really like Japanese media. I mean, I prefer it over like everything else. But the bad thing is that once they have like this ingrained trope, they never let it go ever. Ever.
Yeah.
Like you could watch like an anime from the 80s and it'd be like the same tropes as like today. And it's like just drop it. Just drop it. It's not funny.
I guess the only thing that makes sense is they're more like, maybe not necessarily family oriented, but like gender specific things oriented.
There's
and,
just
and it's just like women cook. Like that's just a thing that like has been, you know, a
I've
trope for years and years.
I've seen so many scenes of the male protagonist walking in on the female lead, like in a compromising position, like she's taking a shower or she's half dressed, and I've seen that scenario 10 billion times. The girl gets angry and punches the guy, and the guy is like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, I haven't even watched that much anime, and I know I've seen that at least like 10 times.
Okay, we're done.
Yes, I'm still ahead of Trevor, but in terms of actual story, only by like 20 minutes, because all he has to do is go to the airbase. Oh my God, he's legitimately only like five minutes actually at this point.
Well, like the question he asked before we started, you should just do the Cosmo Canyon.
Yeah. If I do an hour's worth or an hour's half worth of Cosmo Canyon, then we'll be ahead for the week. So we'll see you next time. I'll make sure I stay ahead of Trevor. We only have 2 or 3 weeks left of baseball too, so that'll give me a lot more time to do that as well. Okay. Bye.